In the last episode, Alex and his companions had just received a mysterious transmission that promised them support and guidance in their quest to uncover the truth about the Archon and the ancient artifact. With renewed purpose, they set out to navigate the underworld of Aetheria, searching for the lost city. Elara was struggling to contain Kael's vengeful specter, and Alex's leadership was crucial in rallying his companions. The darkness closes in around me as I lead my companions through the winding tunnels of Aetheria's underworld. The air is thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. I can feel the weight of our quest bearing down on me, the responsibility of guiding my friends through the unknown. Elara walks beside me, her eyes fixed on the path ahead. I can sense the turmoil within her, the struggle to contain Kael's vengeful spirit. I reach out with my mind, offering what comfort I can. We're not alone down here. I can feel it. The presence of others watching us from the shadows. My hand instinctively goes to the hilt of my sword. I've been having these feelings for days, ever since we entered the underworld. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but now, I'm not so sure. A faint humming noise echoes through the tunnel, growing louder with each step. The sound sends a shiver down my spine. "What's that?" one of my companions asks, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm not sure," I reply, my eyes scanning the darkness. The humming grows louder, and I can feel the air vibrating with energy. Suddenly, the tunnel opens up into a vast cavern, and we're confronted with a sight that takes my breath away. In the center of the cavern stands an enormous stone statue, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The humming noise emanates from it, and I can feel its power calling to me. "We need to be careful," I caution my companions. "We don't know what this statue is or what it's capable of." As we approach the statue, I can feel its energy coursing through my veins. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. Elara reaches out a hand, hesitantly, and touches the statue's base. The humming noise grows louder, and the statue's eyes flash brighter. "What are you doing?" I ask, alarm rising in my voice. "I don't know," she replies, her eyes closed in concentration. "I feel a connection to this place." The statue begins to glow even brighter, and I feel a surge of energy building up inside it. I realize, with a start, that we're not alone. A figure steps out of the shadows, its eyes fixed on us. "You shouldn't have come here," it says, its voice dripping with malice. I draw my sword, ready for a fight. "We're not looking for trouble," I say, trying to stall for time. But trouble has found us. Previously, Alex and his companions had just entered the underworld of Aetheria, determined to uncover the truth about the Archon and the ancient artifact. They had received a mysterious transmission promising support and guidance, and Elara was struggling to contain Kael's vengeful specter. As they navigated the treacherous tunnels, they stumbled upon a vast cavern with an enormous stone statue, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The air seems to vibrate with anticipation as the figure stepped closer, its eyes fixed on us with an unnerving intensity. I can feel the weight of its gaze like a cold wind blowing through the cavern. My companions gather around me, their faces set with determination. The figure is tall and imposing, dressed in tattered robes that seem to be woven from the very shadows themselves. Its eyes burn with an inner fire, a malevolent energy that makes my skin crawl. "You shouldn't have come here," it repeats, its voice dripping with malice. "This is a place of power, and you are not worthy." I take a step forward, my sword at the ready. "We mean no disrespect," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. "We're searching for the lost city, and we believe it's connected to the ancient artifact." The figure laughs, a cold, mirthless sound. "You think you can just waltz in here and claim the power of the Ancient Ones?" it says. "You are no match for the forces that guard this place." Elara steps forward, her eyes flashing with a fierce determination. "We may not be powerful enough to take on the forces of Aetheria," she says, "but we have something that you don't, each other. We have our bond, our friendship, and our determination. The figure sneers at her. "Your little band of friends is no match for the power of the Ancient Ones," it says, "but I suppose you're entertaining. Let's see how long you last." With a wave of its hand, the figure summons a burst of dark energy. The air seems to ripple and distort, and I feel a surge of power building up inside it. My companions and I prepare to defend ourselves, but I'm not sure if we're ready for what's coming. As the energy builds up, I feel a strange sensation growing inside me. It's like a spark of hope, a flame of determination that burns brighter with every passing moment. I realize that this is what we've been searching for. Not just the ancient artifact, but the power to change the course of Aetheria's history. The energy releases, and we're confronted with a blast of dark power. My companions and I fight back, our swords clashing with the shadows. Elara's eyes glow with a fierce light, and I can feel Kael's vengeful spirit stirring, urging her on. As we fight, I realize that we're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for the future of Aetheria. We're fighting against the darkness that's consumed the land, and we're fighting for the hope of a brighter tomorrow. The battle rages on, the outcome uncertain. But I know one thing, we're not alone. We have each other, and we have the power of our bond to guide us through the darkness. As the fight continues, I notice that the statue in the center of the cavern is glowing brighter, its eyes burning with an inner fire. I realize that it's not just a simple statue, it's a key to unlocking the secrets of the Ancient Ones. I make a split-second decision, and I shout to my companions, "We need to take out that statue," I say. "It's the source of the power." My companions nod, and we launch a fierce attack on the statue. The figure in the shadows laughs, but I can sense a hint of unease in its voice. It knows that we're onto something. The battle rages on, the outcome still uncertain. But I know that we're one step closer to unlocking the secrets of the Ancient Ones, and one step closer to changing the course of Aetheria's history. As we fight, I feel a sense of growth and determination building up inside me. I realize that I'm not just fighting for myself, I'm fighting for the people I care about and for the future of Aetheria. I'm fighting for hope and for a brighter tomorrow. The darkness closes in around us, but I know that we're not alone. We have each other, and we have the power of our bond to guide us through the unknown. And with that, I feel a sense of optimism and determination that I've never felt before. We're going to make it through this, and we're going to emerge victorious. Previously, Alex and his companions had just entered the underworld of Aetheria, determined to uncover the truth about the Archon and the ancient artifact. They had received a mysterious transmission promising support and guidance, and Elara was struggling to contain Kael's vengeful specter. As they navigated the treacherous tunnels, they stumbled upon a vast cavern with an enormous stone statue, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. As we continue to battle the dark energy, I notice that the statue's glow is growing stronger, and I can feel its power coursing through the air. The figure in the shadows lets out a snarl of frustration as we manage to land a few hits on the statue. Suddenly, the statue's eyes flash bright blue, and a blast of energy shoots out, striking the figure and sending it stumbling back. The dark energy dissipates, and we're left standing panting, our swords still trembling with the aftershocks of the battle. The figure in the shadows recovers quickly, its eyes blazing with anger, but I can sense a hint of respect for us now. "You may have managed to withstand my power," it says, "but you still have a long way to go before you can claim the secrets of the Ancient Ones." With a wave of its hand, the cavern begins to shake, and the sound of falling rocks echoes through the air. I glance around, my heart racing with concern. The cavern is collapsing, and we need to get out, fast. I turn to my companions, and we share a look of determination. We make a break for the entrance, but the figure in the shadows blocks our path. "You'll never leave this place alive," it snarls, its eyes flashing with malevolent energy. Elara steps forward, her eyes blazing with a fierce determination. "We're not going to let you stop us," she says, her voice firm. With a swift motion, she summons a burst of energy, and Kael's vengeful spirit surges forward, striking the figure and sending it stumbling back. The cavern continues to collapse around us, and we know we have to move fast. I grab my companion's arms, and we make a dash for the entrance. We manage to escape the cavern just as it collapses behind us, sending a cloud of dust and debris into the air. As we emerge into the bright sunlight, I take a deep breath, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. We've made it out alive, and we've taken a crucial step closer to uncovering the secrets of the Ancient Ones. But our journey is far from over. As we look around, we notice that we're not alone. A figure stands before us, dressed in a long, flowing cloak, its face hidden behind a hood. "Welcome, travelers," it says, its voice low and mysterious. "I've been waiting for you. My name is Archon, and I'm here to offer you my guidance and support." I exchange a wary glance with my companions. Who is this mysterious figure, and what does it want from us? Archon senses our hesitation and takes a step forward. "I know you're searching for the lost city," it says. "I can help you find it. But first, you need to trust me." I look at my companions, and we share a moment of uncertainty. Can we trust this mysterious figure, or is it just trying to lead us into a trap? As we deliberate, I notice that Elara seems to sense something about Archon that I don't. She glances at her, her eyes narrowed, and I can sense a spark of recognition. "Elara, what do you think?" I ask, turning to her. She hesitates, her eyes still fixed on Archon. "I'm not sure," she says, "but I think we can trust her, for now, at least." I nod, making a decision. "All right, let's trust her," I say. But we're not going to let our guard down. Not yet, at least. Archon nods, a small smile playing on its lips. "I expected as much," it says. "Let's begin our journey then. The lost city awaits." With that, Archon turns and leads us into the unknown, and we follow, our hearts filled with a mix of hope and trepidation. As we walk, I notice that the landscape around us is changing, the rocks and sand giving way to a lush, vibrant forest. The air is filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of birdsong echoes through the trees. It's a stark contrast to the desolate wasteland we've been navigating, and I feel a sense of wonder and excitement. As we journey deeper into the forest, I realize that we're not just searching for the lost city, we're searching for a new future, one that's filled with hope and possibility. And with Archon's guidance, I sense that we're one step closer to finding it. The trees grow closer together, casting dappled shadows on the ground. I feel a sense of peace wash over me, and I realize that we're not alone in this journey. We have each other, and we have Archon's guidance. And with that, I feel a sense of optimism and determination that I've never felt before. We're going to make it through this, and we're going to emerge victorious. Previously, Alex and his companions had stumbled upon a vast cavern with an enormous stone statue in the underworld of Aetheria, where they encountered a mysterious figure in the shadows. The figure had unleashed its dark energy, but Alex and his companions had managed to withstand it, and the statue's power had sent the figure stumbling back. As the cavern began to collapse, they had narrowly escaped, only to be met by a mysterious figure named Archon, who offered to guide them through the underworld in search of the lost city. As we follow Archon through the forest, I notice that the trees seem to be growing taller and the air grows thick with an otherworldly energy. The scent of blooming flowers and the sound of birdsong fill the air, and I feel a sense of wonder and excitement. Archon leads us to a clearing where a massive stone door adorned with ancient runes comes into view. "This is the entrance to the lost city," Archon says, her voice filled with a sense of reverence. "But to open it, we need to solve a puzzle." The Ancient Ones were known for their cleverness, and they left behind a challenge to ensure that only those with the right intentions and knowledge could enter the city. Elara steps forward, her eyes scanning the runes on the door. "I think I can decipher the message," she says, her voice filled with confidence. As she studies the runes, Kael's vengeful spirit stirs, sensing the dark energy emanating from the door. Archaea notices Elara struggle and steps forward. "The runes are a test of your worthiness," she explains. "You must answer a riddle to unlock the door. The riddle is, what can be broken but never held? What can be given but never sold?" I think back to our journey so far and the challenges we've faced. I realize that the answer to the riddle might be more than just a simple puzzle. It might be a reflection of our own values and experiences. As I ponder the riddle, I notice that Elara's eyes light up with understanding. "I think I know the answer," she says, a smile spreading across her face. "The answer is a promise." Arca nods, a hint of a smile on her face. "You are correct," she says. "A promise is indeed something that can be broken but never held. It is something that can be given but never sold." "Well done, Elara." With Elara's answer, the runes on the door begin to glow, and the stone door creaks open, revealing a passageway into the lost city. As we step through the doorway, I feel a sense of excitement and trepidation. What secrets lie within the lost city, and what challenges await us? The passageway leads us through a series of winding tunnels and chambers, each filled with ancient artifacts and mysterious devices. Archaea explains that these devices were used by the Ancient Ones to harness the power of the artifact we're seeking. As we explore the lost city, I begin to realize the true extent of the Ancient Ones' knowledge and power. Their technology is far beyond anything I've seen before, and I wonder what kind of secrets they might have uncovered. But our exploration is interrupted by a sudden alarm, and the sound of footsteps echoes through the tunnels. It seems we're not alone in the lost city. "What's happening?" I ask Archaea, my hand on the hilt of my sword. "It seems that we're not the only ones searching for the artifact," Archaea replies, her eyes narrowing. "We have to move quickly." The others will not hesitate to use force to get what they want. I glance at my companions, and we share a look of determination. We're not going to let anyone stand in our way. We're going to claim the artifact and uncover the secrets of the Ancient Ones. As we press on, the tunnels grow narrower and the air grows thick with tension. I can sense that we're getting close to our goal, but I also sense that we're not alone. The question is, who else is searching for the artifact, and what will they do to get it? The passageway leads us to a large chamber where a pedestal in the center of the room holds the artifact. It's a small, crystal orb that pulsates with an otherworldly energy. But as we approach the pedestal, a figure emerges from the shadows. "You'll never leave this place alive," the figure says, its voice dripping with malice. I recognize the figure as one of the leaders of the cult that has been terrorizing the land. I realize that we're in for a fight and that the stakes have just gotten a lot higher. But I'm not afraid. I know that we have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. We've come too far to turn back now. With a deep breath, I steel myself for the battle ahead. Am ready to face whatever challenges come our way, and am confident that we will emerge victorious. The battle is intense, with spells and swords clashing in a flurry of motion. But in the end, we emerge victorious, the cult leader defeated and the artifact within our grasp. As we claim the crystal orb, I feel a surge of energy and a sense of pride. We've done it. We've overcome the challenges of the lost city and claimed the artifact. But as we hold the orb, I realize that our journey is far from over. The artifact holds secrets and power that we can barely begin to understand, and there are those who will stop at nothing to claim it for themselves. I look at my companions, and we share a moment of determination. We're in this together and will face whatever challenges come our way. With the artifact in hand, we make our way back through the tunnels, ready to face whatever lies ahead. We're stronger now, more confident, and more united than ever before. And I know that together we can overcome anything. As we emerge from the lost city, struck by the beauty of the world around us. The sun is setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. I feel a sense of hope and optimism, knowing that we've taken a major step forward in our journey, but I also know that there are still challenges ahead. The artifact is powerful, and there are those who will stop at nothing to claim it. We'll have to be careful, and we'll have to work together if we're going to succeed. I look at my companions, and I know that I'm not alone. We're in this together, and we'll face whatever comes next with courage and determination. Previously, Alex and his companions had claimed the crystal orb, a powerful artifact crucial to understanding the Archon's intentions, and defeated the cult leader who had sought to claim it for himself. With the artifact in hand, they had begun to realize the true extent of its power and the secrets it held. As they emerged from the lost city, they were met with a breathtaking view of the world around them, and a sense of hope and optimism filled their hearts. But their moment of triumph was short-lived as Arceus' expression turned grave. "We must be careful," she warned. "The cult leader was not working alone. There are others who seek to claim the artifact, and they will stop at nothing to get it." As if on cue, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a woman with long, flowing hair and piercing green eyes. She was dressed in a flowing white robe, and a golden circlet adorned her brow. "Greetings, Alex and companions," she said, her voice like music. "I am Elara, the Oracle of Aetheria. I have been watching you from afar, and I must say, I am impressed. You have proven yourselves to be worthy of the artifact." Elara approached them, her eyes fixed on the crystal orb. "That is a powerful artifact," she said. "One that holds the key to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria. But it is also a curse, a burden that will weigh heavily on your shoulders." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine as Lyra's words struck a chord within him. He had sensed the power of the artifact, but he had not realized the full extent of its significance. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lyra's eyes seemed to bore into his soul. "The artifact is a key," she said. "A key to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria, but also a key to unleashing a great evil upon the world. The choice is yours, Alex. You must decide whether to use the artifact for good or for ill." As Lyra spoke, Alex felt a sense of trepidation wash over him. He had always known that the artifact was powerful, but he had not realized the full extent of its significance. He looked at his companions and saw the concern etched on their faces. "What do we do?" Elara asked, her voice filled with uncertainty. Lyra smiled. "That is for you to decide," she said. "But know this, Alex and companions, the fate of Aetheria hangs in the balance. Your choice will determine the course of history." As Lyra finished speaking, the air seemed to vibrate with tension. Alex felt the weight of the decision settling upon him, and he knew that he had to make a choice. He thought back to their journey, to the challenges they had faced and the struggles they had overcome. He thought about the people they had met and the lives they had touched. And he knew that he had to make a decision that would honor their journey and ensure a bright future for Aetheria. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for the challenge ahead. He knew that the road would be fraught with danger, but he was ready to face it head-on. "We will use the artifact for good," he said, his voice firm and resolute. Lyra smiled, and her eyes seemed to shine with approval. "I knew you would make the right choice, Alex," she said, "but know this, the journey ahead will be fraught with danger. You must be careful, and you must work together if you are to succeed." As Lyra finished speaking, the air seemed to clear and the tension dissipated. Alex felt a sense of hope and optimism fill his heart, and he knew that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and determination. But as they stood there, basking in the glow of their triumph, a faint rumbling sound echoed through the air. It was a sound that seemed to grow louder by the second, and it sent a shiver down Alex's spine. "What's happening?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Lyra's expression turned grave. "It seems that our presence here has not gone unnoticed," she said. "The rumbling sound is the sign of an ancient mechanism awakening. It is a mechanism that will change the course of history, and it will require all your strength and cunning to navigate." As Lyra spoke, the ground began to shake, and the air seemed to vibrate with energy. Alex felt a sense of excitement and trepidation fill his heart, and he knew that their journey was far from over. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for the challenge ahead. He knew that they would face obstacles and dangers, but he was ready to face them head-on. Together, they set off towards the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead and determined to use the artifact to bring about a brighter future for Aetheria. As they journeyed on, the rumbling sound grew louder and the air seemed to vibrate with energy. Alex could feel the ground shaking beneath his feet, and he knew that they were approaching the heart of the mechanism. Suddenly, a massive stone door came into view. The door was adorned with ancient runes, and it seemed to pulsate with energy. "This is it," Lyra said, her voice filled with excitement. "This is the entrance to the ancient mechanism. Are you ready, Alex and companions?" Alex nodded, his heart pounding with excitement. He knew that they were on the cusp of a great adventure, and he was ready to face whatever lay ahead. With a deep breath, he pushed open the door, and they stepped into the unknown. The room beyond the door was filled with ancient machinery, and it seemed to pulsate with energy. Alex could feel the power of the mechanism coursing through the air, and he knew that they had to be careful. As they explored the room, they discovered a series of ancient controls, and Lyra explained how to use them. With her guidance, they were able to activate the mechanism, and the room seemed to come alive. The machinery hummed and whirred, and the air seemed to vibrate with energy. Alex felt a sense of excitement and wonder fill his heart, and he knew that they had accomplished something truly remarkable. But as they stood there, basking in the glow of their triumph, Alex realized that their journey was far from over. They had activated the mechanism, but they had no idea what its consequences would be. As they stood there, frozen in uncertainty, the room seemed to grow darker and the air seemed to vibrate with tension. Alex knew that they had to be careful and that they had to be prepared for whatever lay ahead. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for the challenge ahead. He knew that they would face obstacles and dangers, but he was ready to face them head-on. Together, they would navigate the consequences of their actions, and they would emerge stronger and more united than ever before. And as they stood there, ready to face whatever lay ahead, Alex felt a sense of hope and optimism fill his heart. He knew that their journey would be long and difficult, but he was confident that they would succeed, for they had each other and they had the artifact. And with those two things, they knew that they could overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness. Previously, Alex and his companions had just activated the ancient mechanism and were now faced with the uncertainty of its consequences. Lyra, the Oracle of Aetheria, had guided them through the process but had warned them that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger. As they stood there, frozen in uncertainty, the room seemed to grow darker and the air seemed to vibrate with tension. Suddenly, the machinery humming around them began to change pitch, and the air seemed to distort and ripple. Alex felt a strange sensation wash over him, as if the very fabric of reality was shifting and reforming. The crystal orb in his hand began to glow with an intense, pulsating light, and he could feel its power coursing through him. "What's happening?" Elara asked, her voice filled with concern as she gazed around the room in wonder. Lyra's expression was grave. "The mechanism has reached a critical point," she said. "The consequences of your actions are now manifesting. We must be prepared to face whatever comes next." As Lyra spoke, the room began to shake and tremble, and the air seemed to fill with an electric charge. Alex felt a sense of excitement and trepidation fill his heart, and he knew that they were on the cusp of a great and unknown challenge. The machinery around them began to glow with an intense, blinding light, and Alex felt himself being lifted off the ground. He was surrounded by his companions, and together they were being propelled through space and time. As the light faded, Alex found himself standing in a vast, open plain. The sky above was a deep shade of indigo, and the air was filled with a sweet, musical hum. He looked around and saw that his companions were standing with him, looking around in wonder. But as they gazed out at the plain, they saw something that made their hearts sink. A massive army was marching towards them, its soldiers armed and armored, and their eyes fixed on Alex and his companions with a fierce and unyielding determination. "Who are they?" Alex asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lyra's expression was grim. "They are the Kralion," she said, "an ancient and powerful army that has been awakened by the mechanism. They will stop at nothing to claim the crystal orb and to destroy you and your companions." Alex felt a sense of trepidation fill his heart as he gazed out at the approaching army. He knew that they would have to fight to survive and that their chances of victory were slim. But as he looked around at his companions, he saw something that gave him hope. They were standing together, united and determined, and they were ready to face whatever lay ahead. "We will not back down," Alex said, his voice firm and resolute. "We will stand and fight, and we will defend ourselves and the crystal orb against all comers." As he spoke, the Kralian army came into view, their soldiers charging towards them with a fierce and battle-hardened cry. Alex and his companions stood ready, their hearts filled with determination and their spirits burning with a fierce and unyielding resolve. The battle was about to begin, and Alex knew that their fate would be decided in the heat of combat. But he was confident that they would emerge victorious, for they had each other and they had the crystal orb. As the Kralian army charged towards them, Alex felt a sense of calm wash over him. He knew that they would face challenges and dangers, but he was ready to face them head-on. Together, they would fight to survive, and they would emerge stronger and more united than ever before. And as they stood there, ready to face the Kralian army, Alex felt a sense of hope and optimism fill his heart. For they had each other, and they had the crystal orb. And with those two things, they knew that they could overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness. The battle raged on, with Alex and his companions fighting valiantly against the Kralian army. But despite their bravery, they were vastly outnumbered, and it seemed as though all was lost. Just when it seemed like the tide of the battle was turning against them, a group of mysterious warriors appeared on the scene. They were dressed in shining armor, and their swords seemed to shine with an otherworldly light. The warriors charged into battle, fighting with a skill and precision that was unmatched by the Kralian army. Alex and his companions watched in amazement as the warriors seemed to turn the tide of the battle in their favor. As the dust settled, Alex approached the leader of the warriors, a tall and imposing figure with a shining sword. "Who are you?" Alex asked, his voice filled with gratitude. The warrior smiled, and his eyes seemed to shine with a warm and friendly light. "I am Aaron," he said, "and I am the leader of the Aetherians, a group of warriors who have sworn to defend Aetheria against all threats. We have been watching you, Alex, and we have been impressed by your bravery and determination." Alex felt a sense of wonder and gratitude fill his heart as he gazed at Aaron and his warriors. "Thank you for your help," he said. "We owe you a debt of gratitude." Aaron smiled, and his eyes seemed to shine with a warm and friendly light. "You owe us nothing," he said. "We are simply doing what is right. But we must talk, Alex, for we have much to discuss and little time to waste." As Aaron spoke, Alex felt a sense of intrigue and curiosity fill his heart. He knew that he and his companions had much to learn and that their journey was far from over. But with Aaron and the Aetherians by their side, he felt a sense of hope and optimism fill his heart. For he knew that together they could overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness. And as they stood there, ready to face whatever lay ahead, Alex felt a sense of determination and resolve fill his heart. He knew that their journey would be long and difficult, but he was confident that they would succeed, for they had each other and they had the crystal orb. And with those two things, they knew that they could overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness.